What's up, everybody? Welcome to Blow the Whistle, the place where we don't just talk about the game, we blow the whistle. If you're new here, let me set the tone. This is where sports, culture, and keeping it real collide. No hot takes just for clicks, no fake outrage, just honest opinions, laughs, and a whole lot of love for the game. This is a father and son armchair quarterbacking podcast. 2 generations, 1 mic, and 0 filter. We're not claiming to have all the answers, but we do have opinions. Sit back, lock in, and enjoy the conversation. And if something doesn't smell right, or if the take is a little too over the top, you already know what to do. Blow the whistle. This isn't wildcard weekend anymore. Nobody's just happy to be here. This is the Divisional Round, where the weakest teams are already gone, and what's left are contenders with real expectations. Every mistake gets punished, every decision gets magnified, and every quarterback is judged a little bit harder than before. These games decide who's legit, who's just riding momentum. So today, we're breaking down the matchups, pressure points, and who we trust when the game tightens up. Let's get into it. Bills versus Broncos. This is where Buffalo expects to be. The Bills aren't playing for validation, they're playing for advancement. Josh Allen has already proven that he can win playoff games. Now the question is whether he can will his team to the Super Bowl and win. Denver's here because they're disciplined, well-coached, and defensively sound. They don't beat themselves, and that's dangerous in January. This game comes down to whether Buffalo controls the moment or lets Denver drag them into a grind. Then, do you trust Josh Allen's talent or Denver's defense?
Well, I'm going to say I'm going with all the pundits. I have to trust Josh Allen, the MVP. I have to trust his talent over defense. You know what I mean? Even though Denver has one of the best defenses this year. You know, so I'm going to have to go with that. Now, again, as we said in the last podcast, Josh Allen has no excuses. Wide open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this year, we don't have no Patrick Mahomes. We don't have no Lamar Jackson on the AFC side. So we know he lost twice in the AFC Championship game to Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right? So who left on the NFC side, AFC side, I'm sorry, who can match up with him? Because again, it's the playoffs. It's about quarterbacks. 95% of the time, it's about your quarterback. Now, I don't want to hear about playing in Denver. I don't want to hear about, well, he don't have the same talent he had before. I don't want to hear that. Only thing I want to hear and see is Josh Allen beating the Broncos, going to another AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I want to hear. The only thing I want to hear. Now, do I believe Denver's defense is going to cause them problems? Of course they will. I mean, Denver's no pushover. Denver's pretty good. And they're well coached.
Yeah.
I mean, they are seriously well coached. They have, I mean, let me see my notes. Denver has one of the stiffest defenses. Top 3 in fewest points allowed per drive. With a pass rush.
That's very good. That's really good.
And don't they have like over 60 sacks this year? I'm going to blow the whistle on Josh Allen if he loses this game. He is the most gifted quarterback left in these playoffs.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I think you have to trust Josh Allen's talent. And the Broncos, if you look at their schedule, they beat the Houston Texans. Okay? Mm-hmm. Which is good because the Texans got a good defense, but they don't got a good offense. They beat the Cowboys, which have a good offense. But other than that, they didn't go up against anyone else. I mean, the Colts in week 2, when their offense was clicking, but you still lost by 1 point. Cincinnati, but their offense was not good. You won against Philadelphia, which they're not really pass heavy. They're more of a game managing offense. So I'm gonna have to go with Josh Allen. I mean, the Broncos defense are good, but realistically, you haven't besides Dallas, you haven't went up against someone that's top 5 in passing. And you went up against someone top 5 in rushing, the Colts, and you lost. Now I'm not saying Denver's defense is not good, but I'm expecting Josh Allen, regardless of who he has. He's an MVP quarterback. He should be able to win this game. It's going to be a close game. I'm not saying Josh Allen has to blow this team out. No. I'm just saying you just win. Manage the game good, change the game, and make the defense try to adapt to you. That's all I have to say.
Listen, man, this team, the Bills are probably the most balanced team on the AFC side, if you really break it down. Even though, at 12-5, I mean, they're balanced. I mean, Allen threw for over 3,600 yards, Cook over 1,600. It was a good passing and running attack. I don't have no problem with that. And really, stats don't matter. We're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Broncos to win.
Mm-hmm.
Although, not the Bills, but Josh Allen should win.
Yeah.
Right?
He should.
So my pick is the Broncos.
Yeah. I'm also going with the Broncos. And the thing that concerns me, if you look at last game when the Bills went up against the Jaguars, they barely won. I mean, you got Brandon Cooks who got open, and that was basically your game. If Trevor Lawrence didn't throw that pick, could have went to overtime and things might have been different. If you are struggling against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which the Jaguars are good, but if your MVP quarterback is not playing like an MVP against a top 15 defense, I'll say, then that's a concern when you're going up against a top 5 defense.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong. Last season, didn't the Bills in the wild card beat the Broncos, like throttle them?
Yeah, they beat them. I want to say 42-10. I want to say.
I think it was like not that bad. I think it was 31-7.
31-7. Yeah.
31-7. So don't think that the Broncos don't remember that.
Oh yeah.
And the one thing I will say about the Broncos, that's one of the biggest reasons I'm leaning towards the Broncos is the head coach.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it at that. But we'll be back because I have a feeling that Josh Allen.
Yeah. I'm feeling Josh Allen. Mine is not going to deliver.
Yeah. So.
All right, next we got the Seahawks and 49ers. Who you got, Dad?
Now, you know what? I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. I know they're saying Sam Darnold, he's questionable with some oblique injury. But you know what? They're playing in Seattle. I'm going with Seattle. I'm gonna take Seattle because you know what? Again, if Sam Darnold is healthy, did you know Sam Darnold went over 4,000 yards passing? And I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't name one of his receivers. Not a one.
No. You don't know Jackson Smith? Jackson Smith and Jigba?
I heard the name. Ohio State, right?
Yes.
That's why I don't know him. I told you how I feel about Ohio State.
It doesn't matter that he went to Ohio State.
You're right.
He's gonna win Offensive Player of the Year regardless.
Yeah, you're right, because he got over 1,700 yards. That is really good. And
Yeah.
you know what? I actually had him on one of my fantasy leagues. So you're right. So I apologize. Now, I'm going with Seattle. Because I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna go with Seattle. Do you remember that last podcast we did the other day? And you said something very, very important. You went on a whole laundry list when San Francisco was playing the Eagles, and you sat up there and said the Eagles should be ashamed of themselves for losing to a team who basically had their second string playing the whole time. And you gave a whole laundry list of players who was not playing.
Yep.
Well, I'm thinking them players ain't playing this week either.
No.
So guess what? The only questionable person I see that's questionable is Sam Darnold. I mean, if I'm looking at Seattle's heavy hitters, Walker, he had over 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Smith, what? How do you say his last name?
Jackson Smith, Nick Jigba.
Nick Jigba.
Nick Jigba.
He have almost 1,800 yards. So you know what? I'm going with them. I'm gonna go with them because if I'm looking, who's questionable? D. Winters, he's questionable. You got Brown, their safety, he's out with a hamstring injury. Fred Warner, he's out. Ricky Parcell, and didn't he play last week? Or no?
No, he didn't play last week. He played like 2 weeks ago, like week 17.
Yeah, so look, man. Yeah, because let's dissect some of these the schedule.
Yeah.
The Seattle schedule. Let's check this out. Because they lost to San Francisco in the first game, 17-3.
Yeah.
You know, those first 2 or 3 games, whatever. I don't worry about that. They lost to Tampa Bay in a good shootout, 38-35. They beat Jacksonville. They beat Houston.
Yeah.
They beat Houston. Let's see who. Hey, they brought the Rams to the brink, 21-19.
And they won against the Rams in week 16.
Yeah, they beat them.
Maybe.
I mean, they beat Indianapolis. They killed Minnesota. I mean, and then eventually they beat San Francisco 13-3. So my pick, I'm going with the Seahawks. Because again, y'all will never, ever see me picking or rooting for San Francisco.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
As much as they show the White Clarks the catch, you will never get my vote. So.
And I also go Seattle. But here's the thing with Sam Darnold. Last year, same setup, 14-3. They got the number 1 wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. They had a good defense. But they lost in the wild card to the Rams. Now, I'm not saying this isn't the same Sam Darnold, but I'm just saying it's the same setup. So I would not be surprised if Seattle would lose. Yeah, I believe Seattle can win, but it's the same setup as last year.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold with the Vikings, 14-3, got Justin Jefferson. They had a good defense. They lost to the Rams in the wild card.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm with you.
But it's not the same Sam Darnold. You got to put that in account. He's on a different team. Defense is way better than the Vikings. Offense is way better than the Vikings. I just wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco wins. Won't be surprised if San Fran wins. But San Fran, they have a lot of injured people. They got Fred Warner is out with an injury. Nick Bosa's out. Ricky Pearsall's out. You got to rely on second string starters who really don't have experience in the playoffs. But, they did win against the Eagles. So I'm not going to knock San Fran out of the game yet.
No, I'm not knocking them out. I'm not saying San Fran can win this game. I'm not saying that. So if you really look at these teams who are in the playoffs and you look at the Seahawks record on them, let's see. Who's still in the playoffs? The 49ers. They beat the 49ers in the regular season, right? They beat the Rams in the regular season, right? So that's 2. They beat Houston in the regular season. So, I mean, that's what, 3? That's 3 of the teams right now that are in the playoffs. That's remaining in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They beat them.
Yeah.
And all 3 of those teams are literally legit to go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm taking Seattle. Man, yeah, I'm taking Seattle. Because, again, San Francisco, they have too many people out for me. So, my pick is Seattle.
I'm with you too. Pick is also Seattle. All right, next game we have is the Patriots and the Texans. Dad, do you think Drake May can lead this team to the conference championship, or is the Texans defense going to be too much to handle?
Oh, man. My mind's telling me one thing, but my heart is telling me another. And what going into this, I was saying the Texans was going to win this game. But I don't know. Maybe you have something that can convince me otherwise.
Yeah. So I'm going with the Texans. Texans schedule, they won against Baltimore. They won against San Fran. They did lose to Seattle. They barely lost against Denver. Won against Buffalo. Won against Kansas City. They're going up against, all right, they have at least went up against a couple of teams that are over 500. And the Buffalo Bills, who are in the playoffs. When you go over to the Patriots, they lost against the Raiders in week 1, which it's week 1. Everyone's getting situated. I'll let this. You lost against Pittsburgh in week 3, which now is kind of a worry, like, it's week 3. You should kind of already have your situation and your stuff together. You won against Buffalo. You won against Baltimore, but you also lost again against Buffalo. The remaining people, Carolina under 500. Saints under 500. Tennessee under 500. Cleveland under 500. Falcons under 500. Buccaneers under 500. Jets, Bengals, Giants under 500. Miami under 500. You've only won against either the Bills, Ravens, or people that are under 500. Now, I'm not saying the Patriots are bad. I'm just saying they still have a lot to prove. And that's just because they went 3-14 in the last season. But Drake May still has to prove that, yes, he's good in the regular season, but can he carry that success to the postseason? Can he bring the success against the Texans? And I'm going to say no.
Huh. Okay. So you bring up some good points. I did not realize that the Patriots. I did not realize because when I look at the schedule, if I don't look at the opponents and I just look at the results, the lowest points they scored all year was the first game at 20.
Yeah.
First game. Like you said, situation. They figured out their situation.
Yeah.
After that, they scored 33 points. Miami. I get it.
Yeah.
Under 500.
Yeah.
Lost to Pittsburgh 21.
Picture's over.
It's third. Third game. 42, 23, 25, 31, 32, 24, 28, 27, 26, 33. And their loss to Buffalo, they put up 31 points. They beat Baltimore 28. The Jets 42, Miami 38. It's a lot of points, man. And I get that a lot of those teams are under 500, and I get it. I didn't know that until you brought it up. So good on you on that. When I go to the Texans seem to keep teams a defensive battle
Yeah.
because they lost the first 3 games of the season. First 3. Right? They went to Tennessee 26-0. Man, they whipped Baltimore.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if Lamar was playing that game or not, but it was 44-10. They lost 27-19 to Seattle. Okay. They beat San Fran. They lost 18-15 to Denver, and Denver is a really good team.
Yeah.
Right? So Jacksonville, they beat 36-29. Jacksonville was in the playoffs. Of course, they beat Tennessee again. Buffalo, they beat Buffalo.
Yeah.
23-19.
That was a good one.
Right? They beat Indianapolis 20-16. They beat Kansas City. And if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes was playing because Patrick Mahomes got injured in the last the last few games. Right?
Yeah, I think Las Vegas or something like that.
They beat the Chargers 20-16, and they beat Indianapolis 38-30. So my mind is telling me they're going up to Foxborough, and that if I am supposed to pay attention to all the numbers and everything, because I'm pretty logical, the Patriots should win this game in a close game. Should be a good defensive game, and the Patriots should win. But my heart tells me that the Texans are going to win this game. So, who do I believe is going to win? I'm going with the Texans. But I do believe that Drake May will outplay CJ Stroud. But I do believe that the Texans will ultimately win this game. And it may come down to like a field goal or something like that. But yeah, let's go, Texans. It's your shot.
All right. Final game for the NFL playoffs is the Rams versus the Bears. Got one question. Do you think the Bears have proven themselves that they can win against the Rams?
Yeah, I think they can. But here, I do have some questions though, or some concerns, I should say, with this game. I think the one thing that the Bears have working for them is the weather.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. We lived in Chicago for 3 years before moving here to Texas. I have literally been around this world, and I've been in some cold areas. I have been in 49 states in some cold weather. I've been to Maine in the dead of winter. I've been to Alaska in the dead of winter. I have been to Montana in the dead of winter. I have been some cold places, but none colder than Chicago. You know, Chicago's cold. I'm talking about brutal. And they're saying that the temperature is supposed to be down to like 20 degrees, but it's going to feel like 8. And you playing against a Los Angeles team?
Yeah.
However, no excuses.
No excuse.
To me, that is the one thing that the Bears got on their side. Now, here's what I have concerns about when it comes to the Bears. Caleb Williams has to be more accurate.
Yes.
Because going back and looking closely at that game, even though he did well when it counted against the Packers, one thing did stand out those first 3 quarters. He wasn't accurate.
No.
He was not accurate enough. Now you're playing a better team with a better quarterback.
Yeah.
So you cannot afford to mess up. So this will be a cold, physical, gritty game. And so this plays into Chicago. However, the Rams do have Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give that edge as far as quarterback, obviously, to the Rams. But I do believe Chicago has an opportunity to win this game.
Yeah. My problem with Chicago is that you need to consistently score. And the Rams did that against the Panthers, albeit they didn't allow 31 points. But every single quarter, they scored. They scored. They scored. They were consistent with scoring. The Bears, you scored 25 points in the fourth quarter, which props to you for doing because that's really hard. But again, it's hard to do that. It's hard to drop 25 points against a team like the Rams who have Matthew Stafford and won't allow you to get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And he just continues to score. He has Puka Nacua. He has Kyron Williams. He has Devontae Adams. You don't think he's not confident in throwing it? He almost has 5,000 yards. You can't let what happened last game. You cannot allow that. You can't allow it. No.
You can't wait to the fourth quarter with the Rams.
Mm-mm.
You gotta come out. This may be blow for blow. You gotta start fast.
Yeah.
And Chicago, impressively, looking at their schedule, they score points.
Yeah.
They score points. So they have a shot. They have a legit shot at winning this game. However, I have to go with the Rams on this one.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm wrong, but I think on the NFC side, when it comes to Matthew Stafford, I think it's tailor-made for him. So, yeah. I foresee him in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So, this one goes to the Rams.
Yeah. And this is the best chance the Rams got since 2021, where they won the Super Bowl. All right, now we're going to talk about the college football national championship between Indiana and Miami. And this one's a good one. I think this one's a good national championship. But the
Mm-hmm.
question is, will Indiana's talented offense bulldoze through Miami's defense?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know I want Miami to be back on top, but Indiana is probably the closest team that we have to that LSU team.
Yeah, the 2019 LSU team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, I do think that they win, and they are favored by 7.5, 8 point, 8.5 points. Indiana favorite. That's the odds right now. And they're Hoosiers dominated in scoring margins at 28.6 points a game.
That's
You remember now, they walked up and they backhand Alabama.
yeah.
Went up to Oregon.
Don't matter. Smack them in the face. Smack them in the face.
I mean, they literally smacked them in the face and stood over them and say, "What you gonna do?" Right?
Yeah.
So they're literally averaging over 40 points per game against the top ranks in this country.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I'm not gonna dismiss Fernando Mendoza. That's the number one pick next year.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter about his stats, man. If you look at the games, he is so poised. He is calm.
Mhm.
He never gets underwhelmed or uncomfortable. It does not matter. We've seen him
Mm-mm.
against Ohio State. We've seen him against Alabama. We've seen him against Oregon. We've seen him against these top teams in the country, and it's all the same. He looks phenomenal. He looks good. It doesn't matter if he's not going 200 because that's what happens when you have an elite defense. And this is what happens when both your offense and defense is working together. Defense causes turnovers, offense scores a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. You're not relying on either or. And I think Miami's like that too. Now, granted, they don't blow people out. I mean, Ole Miss was 31-27. I think they're more of a Miami's more of a game managing type of team where it's like, okay, we'll stop you, but we're gonna run out this clock and we're gonna score. We're not gonna score as fast as we can. We're trying to limit how much time you get on the ball and score with our own tempo.
Yeah, manage the game. They dictate the game.
Yeah.
That's what they do a really good job of. And they're ranked in the top 5 when it comes to limiting points per game.
Yeah.
So they have a good defense, man. It's a matter of, can this defense come in and bully Indiana? Like, if they can get in there in the trenches and muddy it up and be aggressive and throw that swag at Indiana, like, bro, y'all don't know who y'all dealing with.
Yeah.
Y'all not dealing with no Penn State. Y'all dealing with these boys down here in Florida,
Yeah.
in Miami. We coming with smack you in the mouth.
Yeah.
Like, we don't care about getting no 15-yard penalty. Matter of fact, our coach tell us, hey, whatever you need to do to get in it. I'm serious. If they get in there and do that, they may have a shot in there. Because their defense is good, man. And it's gonna be a good matchup with a high-powered offense and a defense that can literally bully anybody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, their defense in Miami is stingy. I mean, 14 points. Looking at this, they don't give up a lot of points, man. Yeah, if I'm looking at that top, they played number 9 Illinois, 10 points. They gave 20 points to Oregon, not gave. Penn State 24. I mean, their defense is decent. Ohio State only scored 10.
That's crazy.
Only scored 10. So, look, man, this is about turnovers. Limit the turnovers on both sides and play discipline ball.
Yeah.
If Mendoza does that,
You're gonna win.
Indiana got it. But again, I'm not counting out Miami.
No. Yeah, the route that Miami took here is impressive. It is really impressive. I didn't think they were going to get in the playoffs, but it is impressive what they've done in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if Ohio State is bad. Ohio State's still one of the best. You took care of business. Doesn't matter if you gave 27 points of bonus. You gave business, and it just depends on the. I think it just depends on offense. You got good defenses. Miami's probably the better one, but it's just how your offense plays. It's going to be what dictates this game.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And again, if Miami can come in and throw Indiana off their rhythm,
Yeah.
they have a shot. They have a shot. Now, keep in mind now, they are playing in Miami.
Yeah.
That's home field advantage for Miami.
But what's his name? Fernando Mendoza
Miami,
from
so-
Miami. So it basically cancels out in my book.
Yeah, you're right.
And it
So,
don't matter if the whole team plays in Miami.
I'm looking forward to this game
Yeah.
on Monday. So.
I am too. Those are our picks for the NFL Divisional Round and the College Football National Championship. If you disagree, good. Let us know your picks in the comments. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Until the next episode, keep your Jordans clean, your takes honest, and your receipts ready. We're out.